Hello, in this video I want to talk about how you can deal with the manipulative behaviour of the emotional abuser during the divorce. And I will talk about the tools that you can put in place. And there are a few things that you can do now that will help you take back a bit of control of your life straight away. Hello, my name's Elizabeth Goddard from Revive Your Soul. And in this channel I talk about divorcing from the emotional abuser and the narcissistic personality, healing from the invisible chains and breaking free and divorcing emotionally. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're returning, welcome back and thank you. I want to talk about how you can deal with the manipulative behaviour when you're going through the divorce process. And this is actually quite personal to me. It's something that I experienced and I was still trapped in the trauma bond. So you might have thought that the hardest part was over, so getting over the ending of a relationship, and just when you're starting to get your life back together, you are then faced with having to go through the divorce process. If you're divorcing an emotionally abusive person, one of the first things to remember is that this is a stage or an arena for them to perform. Whether it's to gain attention or to prove to everybody what an awful person you are, they will use and manipulate it. They don't care about the cost to you. They see it as an opportunity to gain attention from everybody involved in this process. And I am going to use this word arena. An arena is a large enclosed platform, often circular or oval. It's designed to showcase. It's a theatre or maybe musical performances or sporting events. It's composed of a large open space and surrounded on most or all sides by a tiered seating system for spectators. And when I think of this type of space, I think of perhaps the Colosseum in Rome and the fights and the battles that took place, a mismatch of opponents, an uneven battle fighting for their lives, and usually until death. The emotional abuser cannot lose. They cannot afford to lose. And this isn't anything to do with money. They will do everything in their power to ensure you behave in a way that proves this. They will send manipulating emails designed to trigger you and create a reaction. And this is why it's so important to divorce them emotionally. Even if you're part of the way through the process, it will still help you. It helps you take back your power. They want you to react. And that is the sole purpose of this type of email. Their existence is based on the fuel that they get, the supply they get from other people. They get a secondary source through the knowledge they have on you, knowing that when you open that email, it is going to hurt you. It is so important, if you can, to go no contact, do everything through a third party, sort the children out through an app, and get help with all your communication. If you have to receive emails, don't open them straight away. Or if you open them, do not respond to them. Give yourself time to process. It might be helpful to write out what you want, then completely break it down, taking out all emotion. Do not believe they won't resort to reading your personal emails. They are not beyond breaking into your email account, hacking your computer, using spyware, or listening to your phone calls. And I don't know how they listen to the phone calls. However, I have had people ask me if it's possible, as their abuser has contacted them, asking about a subject that had been discussed with a friend. This was a face-to-face conversation, and they found it strange that a few hours later, the abuser was contacting them, asking if they discussed this subject with anyone. It might be worth getting somebody to look at your computer or your laptop and your phone to make sure that there's no spyware on there. Be aware of the change of address. Make sure that if a redirection service is used, it's on their name only, not as a variant of their name. As a variant will give them access to all of your posts. And if they do tell you they've opened your post, they'll tell you it was done by mistake. They will claim they don't know why it's happening, but they will do nothing to stop it, because it wasn't a mistake. Now, I experienced this and I spoke to the post office and they showed me the redirection request and I explained, I'm sure it was a mistake And the person at the counter said to me, "I can assure you this isn't." When I pointed out this mistake, I asked for it to be changed, and I was told that they couldn't understand how it happened. They didn't know how to stop my posts being redirected. I made several attempts to get the redirection notice changed. And on the day that I was moving out of my house and I saw my postman, he told me that 3 letters had been directed that morning. I left a voice message asking for my post to be returned, and it was at least 3 weeks later, and then only 2 letters turned up. Third notice was a flyer, didn't have a name or address on it, just something that comes through with the post. Arrived at my new address from him. Later in my divorce, information that could have only been gathered from opening my personal mail during the time of our separation was used as a threat. 5 months earlier, I had approached this subject when a letter was returned to me, and it stated it was the 3rd attempt in contacting me, and I'd asked him at the time if he'd received the previous letters and opened them, and I was told he hadn't. Nothing they do is a mistake. Ensure if they put a redirection for their post, it's only in their name. Make sure it doesn't say variants of the surname if you're using the same one. Everything they do is carefully crafted to put them and their need for attention at the centre and to make them the focus. Remember the arena. They want to show their power and muscles. You might be feeling like you're going crazy trying to access your emails and having to change your password on a daily basis. For your own sanity, create a new account for your new personal emails and keep it secure and private, not to be shared with anyone who might pass it on. Use the one they know about just for the divorce process, and only allowing the emotional abuser and their solicitors communication through it. So if it does get hacked, they will only see what they already know. Try and communicate with your advisor through a separate email address. Make sure that you're fully aware of what they're capable of. Think about protecting your identity and your financial identity as well. They will hide money and they will protect their money. They also have the ability to use you or your address to gain money, credit cards. I had a lease agreement taken out on the property that I was living in for a car for about £26,000. You might be thinking this is so unfair and I shouldn't have to do this. And you're right, you shouldn't. These aren't emotionally healthy people. You need to protect yourself and everything you have left. Nothing about this relationship was fair, and even going through this process with them is going to be the same. Divorcing them emotionally means there is no emotional reaction from you. It means the trauma bond is breaking and their efforts of trying to hurt you or punish you won't work. From this space, you will also be able to see the tricks, and you will be able to see the patterns, and you will have the strength to know what you want. They will lie and they will manipulate the information, and you might even find they change it. What they accuse you of, they were actually guilty of themselves. Your superpower in this process is divorcing them emotionally first. And whilst you're learning and building those muscles, you can use no contact and grey rock. I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to find out more about working with me, you can visit my website reviveyoursoul.co.uk or send me an email info@reviveyoursoul.co.uk. I'm going to put some links to various different resources in the description box below, along with the links to my books, Finding Lily and The A to Z of Emotional Abuse. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Sending you loads and loads and loads of love.